Hello and welcome to Desire to Inspire Studios Foundation. Donuts for breakfast with no donuts. My name is Trevor Henley. I'm the Executive Director and Inspirational Activist of Desire to Inspire Studios Foundation. We have with us Dr. Michael Pritchard.
I'm the Lone Ranger in a mask.
He does do brain surgery also, if you'd like to try that out.
I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it, but...
Only on myself.
And then we have an honor to have one of our interns with us, and this is Sara from San Marin High School.
That's right.
Go San Marin champions?
Mustangs.
Mustangs.
State champion football.
Can't leave that part out, y'all.
Yeah.
So we are here at Donuts for Breakfast, and the idea is to shed some light on life. So I have no idea, I didn't prep any questions, but I'd love to say, like, what's going on in the land of Sara? It's a big, wide open topic.
That was good. Well, okay, let me help you
Thank you.
specify.
I don't know if we need
Tell
to.
us what...
Can't stop a moving train. Come on now.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay.
Specifying.
What is going on with your generation of senior classmen at the high school? Yeah, but you're a junior, but that's senior classmen, you know.
Fair enough.
Those two are the upper class folks from a high school thing. What about the loneliness that's going on after COVID and the teasing, the bullying, the stuff that's going on?
Sarah's going to leave it open
Pull
and
pin,
go in
pull.
there. Yeah,
Okay,
but now let's hear it.
What I can say specifically
Yeah.
is I'm not incredibly social at my school. What I
Right.
do is after school, I'm an online, it's called a listener. So I go online and I have these like crisis text conversations with people my own age. And it's insane the things that these kids are going through.
Yes.
And just the complete lack of anybody they have in their lives to talk to the point where they're going online to literally talk to a stranger.
Okay, so
Aren't you glad I did what I did
Yeah,
now?
thanks. Fine. Be that way, Mike. You're always right. So wait, let's pretend that we just rewound that. What did you just say?
Okay, so he's talking about specifically how does a teenager cope with all of their issues in an age where they can't go and hang out with their friends at the mall or do anything really.
Anxiety and loneliness, right?
Definitely depression, bullying, eating disorders, especially in Marin. I mean, the stuff is piling up. You
Right.
can never get away from it,
Right.
especially as a teenager. And what I'm saying
Sarah's mom and dad, thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Thank you for this.
what
And so
I'm saying is,
what are you doing?
what I'm doing is I'm trying to bring a little perspective to it where I, on the side for my volunteer hours, am spending time talking to strangers over the internet on a program called 7 Cups. It's a great asset for anybody listening who needs someone to talk to. Seriously, I recommend it. I use it myself sometimes. It's great. And the way that kids deal with it so often is just by finding something else, by going to that party, drinking, doing whatever they can to get away from it because they don't have a safe space. So really, not a very optimistic answer
No,
for you.
but
I'm sorry
that-
No,
about
it
that.
is very
But
optimistic.
that's amazing because
yeah.
you're providing solutions and support. And what I love in that sentence or statement, not sentence, it'd be one run-on sentence.
One or the
but
other.
Hey, is that you're also not only are you providing support, but you said that you also go and seek support.
I absolutely do.
Wow.
There is.
I don't know. Show over. This is my something learned today. Like mind blown already.
Oh,
Jesse, our director, sitting there going, okay, my work here is done.
now we can finally go get the donuts. Perfect.
Yeah,
Get out of here, y'all.
exactly.
So, but here's the thing. Okay.
Let's hear it.
When he was young,
There was a time?
he was young.
Okay,
and
so
he was
back
on the
then-
show, and this is what we were trying to do. Talk to them right after Columbine. There had been 14 children killed in Colorado. And we, at a high school, and the 2 guys that killed them were high-end, very smart young men.
Intelligent, yeah.
Very intelligent, and they had built bombs and guns and stocked up and went through the school murdering people. And then we got a call from the corporate sector of America and said, hey, can you help us figure out what just happened here? Right. He was part of the solution, he and his classmates at San Rafael. And I went to San Marin High, and they were just as good at San Marin High. They were brilliant. And The show was called Saving Our Schools from Hate and Violence, paid for by corporate participants from See's Candies, and Warren Buffett owns that in Berkshire Hathaway. Chuck Huggins, who's now gone, but was a brilliant leader and a combat veteran of World War II, and so empathic of heart because he had seen things in the concentration camps and stuff during World War II as a parachute regiment that he was in. And what happens is, you know, those men and women from that generation had a heart for America.
Right.
They had a heart for America. And that's what I see you doing, because that compassion is what guides the best leaders.
Right. Compassion makes the man.
Right.
Or woman in my case.
Yes, exactly. And because we did a whole movie on what makes a person happiest, and it's called The Happy Movie, done by Tommy Shadyac. And he was worth $1 billion, and he had depression from a bicycle accident, and he couldn't get out of it. And he had been directed in a film. Robin Williams was in his film Patch Adams, about a doctor who heals through humor.
Aww.
And so what was great was he said, who do you know that's happy? And they came to me and filmed me working with children in elementary and middle and high school. And then Trevor was part of the group, and I was like astounded how smart and wise he was. I'm not in charge of the edits because I really liked what he was saying.
Needless to say, I didn't make the cut.
No.
But hey.
Well, yeah, we had stuff that was so,
Yeah.
it was like intense.
Right.
A young man, putting a list together to kill others.
Yeah.
And that was 22 years ago now.
Yeah. Let's not run into numbers.
But
yeah.
So we're just, we look for solutioneering.
Right.
And that's you. And
Yeah.
so what I want to know is when you have anxious people who are learning different neurodiverse, ADD, dyslexic, Asperger, and you're talking to them or whoever in your class or on the phone, what do you do, and why did you know about yourself that you are that anchored? What is it that you bring when you volunteer? Because you do. You are anchored. You are wise.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I think it's less about what I bring and more about what I let them bring, if that makes any sense. So instead of offering feedback, instead of saying, oh gosh, well that really sucks, sorry, I'm listening, I'm actively responding, like, yeah, I understand, that must be really tough. Yeah, I can picture how I would feel in that situation, that must be awful for you. Trying to sympathize, really, compassionate responses. And in a real life situation, well, obviously it's all real life, in a person-to-person, face-to-face situation, for me, it's more about giving that perspective. So kind of getting them out of their own heads.
Right.
Getting to see the big picture. You know, we're on a floating rock in space. Your Instagram does not really matter that much.
Right.
Although normally a little more gentle than that.
Yeah. Well, you're bringing perspective, and it's you bring and you offer, which you both those words you just said. You bring yourself, but you offer quiet solitude. And one of the little kids told me one time in kindergarten, he goes, Mr. Mike, I just think that listening is love.
Oh, well, you can't be more true than that.
Right.
How did you find out, and you said it's 7 cups?
That is what it's called, yes.
How did you find out about that?
I found out about it, actually, with my lazy self in COVID. I was looking for something to do to get my volunteer hours where I wouldn't have to go, expose myself to the great outdoors.
Totally lazy.
And it just seemed great. It was also at a time in my life where I had just lost all my friends, where I had just gone through this huge change of literally staying home every day, which, I mean, who knew that could happen, right?
Right.
So it was something that I needed in my life to be able to connect with people and get help like that. And to me, it just seemed like I have so much. Imagine how terrible it must be for the people who have 30 times less.
Right. And you're doing what a guy named Redfield in the Celestine Prophecy, just calm down about the New Age stuff. He says that we have to be in a circle 8. We have to get energy and give energy. So in order to sustain, so if you are a healer a caretaker for people. You have
As
to
I try to be.
you get energy from them,
We
and that
also
way you
receive.
can give the energy. Correct. And so that's important, not just for, making sure you maintain your balance. You can't give away so much energy that you don't have any for you. Because there's a joke that what's the difference between a codependent and a pit bull? Eventually the pit bull will let go. So, and the other one is, what's the difference between a codependent and a zombie? Eventually the zombie will move along. So I know, but what you're doing is so powerful and important for your generation. It speaks volumes about your spirit and character. And I'm glad we got her here as an intern. We're gonna learn a lot.
Oh man, already have.
Already
So-
have, he said.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's
say,
what I thought.
So, how did you know it was a good fit? Like, what was your first memory of it being a good fit and being on the receiving end of those calls?
So on the receiving end, so you mean when I was personally seeking out help, or when I was helping
Well, that
people?
was going to be the next question, but the other way around.
Perfect. So when I was giving help, there's actually a person that I met on there. It's basically like a texting service.
Yeah.
So his name is Bruno. He lives in Florida, and he has this horrible situation with his parents. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, obviously it's terrible
Try not
to
to
compare.
go too many details.
Of
but
course.
yes, yeah.
I just mean that he lives a life that is so different from the way that I live mine.
Right.
And he really needed someone to talk to, and he needed someone who could tell him that he didn't deserve all of this happening to him. So really, one night he was having this terrible, upsetting breakdown. He was really just at the edge of everything, And I sent him this whole paragraph. It's not your fault. You don't deserve this. This isn't the way that your life should have gone, and it hasn't gone this way because of anything you've done. And he responded so well. I mean, it changed my life the way he talked to me. He said, "Sarah, thank you so much. You saved my life. You mean the world to me." I mean, this is a person I've never met. I've never shook his hand, seen his face.
But
and
you're an
still-
empath. You know you're an empath. You can feel the suffering of others.
I hope that that's true, yes.
You do. So did he when he was young.
What does that experience mean to you? To have someone say that to you?
What does it mean to me? It means...
How does it make you feel?
When I was first an intern here, you guys asked a question, and it was like, what's the end game for you? What's the purpose of it all? And I said that the ripples I put out, I want them to be positive. So to me, I mean, selfishly a little bit, I'm thinking, wow, today I really accomplished that goal. Today I really gave something positive to the world. And I didn't, take more than I needed to, like I normally do. I'm really a hog when it comes to Pop-Tarts and stuff, so it brings my conscience down.
Was she looking at me when she said?
I was gonna say, Mike, how does it make you feel? Because I see your eyes getting teary over here.
Yes,
How
great.
How does it make you feel when you hear someone like Sarah here doing the work that she's doing?
This is what the intention of everything is, and that we are in a technological time where a lonely, isolated, self-isolating kid suffering incredible torment at his own hand can reach out and find an amazingly astounding, bright healer across the whole country and get incredible advice and input to find it. It needs to be multiplied, amplified, done over and over again. And Sarah's going to write a movie about this for Netflix soon.
Definitely.
And
we'll film it here.
And we can film it.
Yeah, you
and
got like 60 hours left of your internship.
and so all that'll cover an hour and a half.
Y'all, don't worry.
That would do an hour and a half, But if you think about that, because what you're creating for your generation is hive alive, hive mind, hive alive.
That's a scary phrase to me. Hive alive? How do you mean?
Well, you're awakening to how you can be empathic and create honey and harmony in the world by doing as a bee. Right. you bring the honey.
Pollen or whatever.
Yeah, and you bring all of that in, and then you're harmonizing, and people reap the benefits of it because honey is a medicine,
Right.
and it can help a lot with what you would call allergies and stuff like that. It's a naturopathic medicine.
And for those who may not have been following that, like I wasn't in the beginning, the honey would be the positive vibes,
Right.
Sure.
right?
The harmony, yeah.
The harmony. And then the hive being the fact that now you're out there doing it. Now another student in Florida is on the receiving end. You've been on it. You're creating that hive of similar mindset to put out.
Hive alive the mind to help others, and that's
Amazing.
the more, yeah. And I mean, she has embodied everything we are supposed to be about.
Right?
Oh, look
So-
at that.
I know. What don't get yes. It's
I'll
true.
keep my
That's
head
about
small,
it.
don't worry.
Yeah. So let's go on the other side of it.
I'll let you know.
Just gave you a
As
report card.
many
Okay, sorry. I'm
as much
listening.
detail as you wish or not on when you reached out for help. How did you know that one, that was safe, and then two, how did you feel when you were able to do that? And if you want to go in through what you were going through, sure. If not, no.
So, well, to start off, how did I know it was safe? I mean, I'm in my bed, I'm at my house. I'm
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my own environment.
yeah.
It's
Secure.
So physically, it's a very safe space. It can be wherever you want it to be.
Right.
Which makes that whole safety part pretty easy.
right.
And also, we're talking about texting, so it's basically like my first language. I'm Gen Z, born in the age of computers. Really, I mean, it's sad when you think about it, but it is so easy to be
Well, you're doing
honest
pretty
when
good
you're...
with the English
Yeah,
language.
yeah,
just
yeah,
so
you're
you know.
doing
So
it really
you're,
well.
Oh,
you're
thank
talking
you. I
very
appreciate
well.
that.
Better than me, probably. Keep going. Sorry.
So, I think that the physical aspect of it and the actual texting part where I don't have to say it out loud is
Right.
really helpful.
Right.
And how did it feel to be receiving, help from some, sympathetic, hive-minded person across the country or wherever? I feel I'm not someone who subscribes to a lot of self-pity, but in that moment, it's like, wow, this is really this is low. I don't have anybody I can talk to. I don't have anywhere I can
Right.
go. I have to go talk to a stranger online, and then you start talking to them, and you realize, wow, like, this is a person who cares about me. There's nothing wrong with that. So it feels definitely, I would say you feel a little heightened after. I mean, I am trying to focus in this chapter of my life on community. We're all born in the same world. We're all the same kind of person deep down. And just trying to make connections with people who are like me is so important, even if it is somebody who I can't see or can't hear their voice. So really, it makes me feel like I'm part of something.
She fills me with an incredible hope.
I was gonna say another 20-second rewind and rewatch it. Right there. Holy moly!
So, but you see, the
is amazing.
yes, and rightfully so. It should be amazing because while we're out here thinking in cynicism and pessimism and hopelessness, the actual existence of a human being who's doing everything to make it better, when amplified on this, helps other people gain and gather the harness of hope and put the team that they're driving forward on in ye and haw as we go up the mountain, guiding the horses to the
It's a
stars.
fabulous metaphor.
Yes.
Right. But it's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and I mean,
Definitely is, yes.
because, for me, I'm just sitting there thinking, yeah, this is good. It's
Yeah.
just saying that our work here, what we're doing, has incredible urgency, incredible primary importance, and more than all of that, it unleashes a power of compassion into the world that is the medicine to make it better. That's all.
Absolutely.
So, whatever.
Nice.
Why do you feel, or tell me how you feel between the safety of anonymous, like talking to someone that's willing to help, and then not having that necessarily
Great question.
here in your local community or in your peers at high school?
Okay, well, so how do I feel about the difference on the spectrum here of how connected I am to people?
Yeah, I mean, the question I really want to answer is why do you feel that that is not possible in your local community, in your peer group?
Well, first off, because I'm lazy and I really am not a fan of high school people in general. I know I sound like a bit of an elitist here, but guys, I'm in high school. It sucks. So, and I know that there are tons of people out there who probably think, wow, high school was the best time of my life. Loved it there. Still have my pom-poms in my closet. But, for a lot of us, it really is a great place to be miserable. So, for me, going there, it's kind of, I don't know, it's like it's legally required. So I'm not in a great mood to go out and get into deep intellectual conversations with people who are contemplating whether they should be on Kim's side or Khloe's in the Kardashian feud. Like, it's just. So I was talking to a brick wall most of the time, and when you're online.
Jesse liked that one. Jesse loved that.
I don't know if that's a real thing. I'm
Justin
pulling stuff out of the hat. Don't worry.
So, do you think that there's other students in your, let's just say, Marin, that have your same viewpoint?
Absolutely. There are countless students, and a lot of them are probably people that I've judged and been like, ew, well, I don't want to talk to them. And obviously that's on me, but it's not like any of us are doing anything different.
You're very self-aware. Yeah. Aeschylus, great Greek philosopher,
he's got syllables
said,
for it. Okay.
Yes, and here it is. With every drop of pain on the human heart, wisdom grows. So while you're suffering in high school, be that blossoming, fully aware person that you can share water with others in the garden if you look inside. So understanding yourself.
Understanding, he says.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
That was taught me by a kindergartner.
Mm-hmm. You've got a lot of kindergarten knowledge there.
I do.
That.
And you know what? Can I share with you? They are the wisest on the planet because they've arrived unfiltered, like you.
Absolutely. Oh,
so
love that.
Well, it's true. I mean, I have always looked around and when I had a little kid say, don't let their bad day be your bad day or your bad day be their bad day. Don't play angry tag with people. And I went, 5 years old. Can you come to Washington, D.C. with me?
Yeah, Hallmark is going to get a new spokesperson or something.
Stop off in Sacramento on the way. Everybody's arguing about everything, and we've got people who are suffering.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what you're dealing with right away. So I tell everybody, I'm not for the left wing, I'm not for the right wing, I'm for the suffering wing of humanity. That's where I spend my time trying to focus on ways to make it better for suffering. And when you're living like that, it's you're the medicine. And you, my friend Sara, are the medicine for a stronger, wiser, better world.
Oh, well, I take after you.
I wouldn't think that would be good because the Pop-Tart thing becomes problematic to the knees in the 70s.
So we are coming to a close.
Oh, no.
We're coming to a close on our show today, which is already crazy that it's already almost been a half hour.
Insane.
So we are 2 days away from Christmas.
Yes.
Yes, happy holidays to everyone.
Happy holidays. We're several days away from New Year's.
Yes.
And 2022. What would you say has been the greatest highlight of 2021 for you?
Oh gosh. Should have skimmed through my diary before I came a little bit.
I think you just said it. What you found in doing the work that you're doing.
Absolutely. You know what? I think that 2021 has been one of those growing years for me, which when you're a teenager, basically every year is. But instead of growing from something, growing out of a phase, growing out of a bad haircut or whatever, I'm growing into what I want for myself and what I want to give to other people. So it's really about, this being the year where I found out that I need to start giving instead of taking. Just
Wow.
definitely in the Christmas spirit, so I'm staying on theme here.
Very nice.
Well, I think, you know, you live in the oil of the Maccabee. There's a
Am I
little bit
supposed
of
to get that?
I don't
yeah.
know. You have to wait. You have
No.
to wait for him to answer it. 'Cause
The- Hanukkah is based on a celebration that there was oil, even though it was completely depleted, for
8.
Israel to survive. And the oil of the Maccabees, they were the warriors trying to protect the light that had been their religious belief. And what happens is, it was down to the very bottom, but it existed. And through that happening, like a miraculous event, they celebrate Hanukkah and the days of Hanukkah to celebrate the oil that exists in each and every one of us to keep going even in suffering times. I mean, my God, what else could we be asked to do, and what could high school kids be asked to do, and young dads be asked to do with their kids and their families, with all of the stuff from COVID-19 being out? It's easy for me. I'm a grandpa. I can sit and go like this. Oh boy. Ay, ay, ay. You know, and I'm just
Scroll through the
watching
news channel.
television like, I think I'm going to watch Hanna-Barbera. I'm going to watch Fred Flintstone for some yabba dabba doo. So, because
Naturally.
that's as you age, you're like going, I can't do what I used to do. I can do this,
Sure.
but it gives me hope that he's here doing this with you, and it suggested to me, because I didn't know I was coming in until he said, come in and we'll film a show.
Thanks
and I
for that.
said,
That's how we roll.
you know, yeah, spontaneity is the key to life. So I just am like grateful that we had this morning listening to you, filled me with hope that you can inspire, which is from the Greek term inspire, breathe in the spirit. And that's what is going on.
Getting
They're
Greek
listening
on
to
us.
you.
Okay.
A generation of young people can hear your heart, which was good. And
Very.
we heard him when he was young about the violence at Columbine. You know, all these people, you know, and I was like listening to these guys, and I was moved then. And then when we were done, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so emotional. And it wasn't, turns out it wasn't emotional enough. You bring it, and you are an awesome spirit. Mom and Dad, thank you.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, I feel blessed to be in your presence. That's all.
Well, I feel blessed to have the guidance of 2 such slightly annoying, incredibly wise gentlemen.
Listen, when
No,
we
I'm just
say
kidding. I'm
be
incredibly
honest,
respectful.
when we say be honest, Sarah, okay, because we busted up laughing about the
Slightly
slightly
annoying.
What was
Just-
the part
I
after
apologize.
that?
I said incredibly wise.
Oh, okay.
There was something nice buried within.
Now she's gone too far. Okay, all
So
right.
thank you very much, Sarah, for being with us today. Like I said, I mean, this show could have been over in the first 2 minutes with the wisdom and the knowledge learned.
Right.
And thank you very much
Yeah,
for
I
that.
agree with that. Yeah, that was
Um,
amazing.
Feeling good.
For all
7
those
cups.
that don't have any, you just Google it, you text it,
Absolutely.
you just, what do you do? How do you find out about
it's
it
an
if I'm a
app,
teenager?
And it's a website, so if you have a computer, you can go on the website or iPad, phone, whatever. Go on the app. It's super easy to use, totally anonymous. I highly recommend it to anyone looking to help, looking to receive help. Go for it. Seriously. There's no downside.
And that's a great tool for us as teenagers these days, especially coming up in the next couple of weeks for the holidays. As much joy and giving that there is, there's also a lot of suffering and mental anguish. So
Definitely.
it's free.
It is free, absolutely.
Reach out.
Yeah, there's no
Yes.
reason
Reach
not
out.
to. Because you don't know what you don't know until you ask someone, and then you find out that they already know. And it's how we connect our stories. It's how we share. It's how we are all the remedy here and people helping people. So thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much for having me, both of you. I
And,
appreciate it.
Go out there. Happy holidays. Merry
was awesome.
Christmas. Celebrate. Love that family. Love your friends. And share some smiles with some people. Some strange people like
Spread
us,
the love,
right?
y'all. Strange people, exactly.
Strange people like us. So thank you very much again, and have a wonderful holiday season, and Happy New Year.
Huh?
You